Broadcasting from Watts Creative Studios and live on Grove Street FM. You're listening to Talk Local to Me, brought to you by the Central Virginia Business Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Local to Me. I am Heather Alto with the Central Virginia Business Coalition, and unfortunately today I am missing my co-host, Mike Norfield, with Visiting Angels, America's Choice in Home Care. And I did that just for you, Mike, because I know everyone is going to miss hearing your little tagline, and I hope I actually said it. Did I say it right, Woody?
Yeah, it sounded great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking.
I thought it was the commercial playing for a split second.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
how good it was.
So while I know he's not here, I'm pretty sure he's listening in. So if I get a little texty text that says, hey, I messed it up. Well, that's just too bad for him. He should be here with me, huh?
Too late.
So, yeah. So I missed last week, unfortunately. And Mike is missing this week. But, at least one of us is still here talking local to you guys. I am still on my Disney, I'm on my Disney downer because I spent all week in Disney last week. And I still
You're going through your Disney depression.
I am. I am. I feel like I'm Disney depressed.
It's hard. I'm telling you.
It is. We had a blast though. We had a blast because you went the week before, right? Well, you were on a cruise.
We were on a cruise.
So in case you guys don't know, we're Disney adults. Yeah. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm not. I love it. So, but yeah, well, I think we have a really great podcast for you guys today. We have two guests coming in and both of them are going to be talking, very, very business related. So if you're a small business owner, I want you guys to kind of listen in because we're going to be talking about some great ways to help local business and, ways that you can market yourself, ways that you can secure yourself. And it's a lot of things, I've talked about before. I think a lot of people start small businesses and don't necessarily know all the ins and outs. And there's things that, you think you can do and you don't want to inquire a lot of cost or whatever. So you're like, oh, I can do this and I can do that. My question is, should you? Because a lot of times you end up incurring more cost when you don't do something correctly and you don't reach out to those that are professionals in their field that can help you get those startups or help make sure that, what you're doing is safely, secure. And that's what we're going to be talking with Jonathan about in just a minute. So I'm really excited for today's show because I think we're going to have some really great insight and I've got two really great, guests here today that are going to be talking about their businesses and how they can help your business. But before we jump in, as you guys know, I want to kind of chat about upcoming things we have going on in the community that you as a business in our area can come and participate in. And even if you're not a business listening in and you're just, one of our listeners, things that you can come to as well, because we do a lot of community things. And I feel like November is already halfway gone and I feel like it just started and the holidays are coming up. You got Thanksgiving, which I'm just going to say Thanksgiving is first, people. Christmas is coming, but I'm a hardcore. My Christmas doesn't go up until after Thanksgiving. And my daughter's already trying to get me to turn on Q99 and listen to the Christmas music. And I refuse to do it. I will not do it. I know Mike already has 20 trees up in his house, I think. But I actually have all my Thanksgiving decorations up, all my pumpkins and my fall. And it will stay that way until after I finish eating my turkey on Thursday of next week. So I'm just throwing that out there. But, we're going to talk a little bit about Small Business Saturdays coming up. Lots of ways for you to shop local in our area. As you guys know, the CVABC, we are strong promoters of small local business. And, with the holidays coming up, small businesses need your help more than ever. If you can shift some of your shopping, I'm not saying 100%, but if you can shift a good portion of your shopping to a local business, whether it's purchasing gift certificates or items or attending your local craft fairs and buying from your crafters and your artisans, it's greatly appreciated. So Small Business Saturday, of course, is the Saturday after Thanksgiving. It is the 30th this year. Make sure you go out and buy something from a local business owner that day. We do have a couple of networking opportunities this week coming up. If you're in the Roanoke and Benton area, we are doing our coffee talk Thursday morning at First Citizens Bank in Benton. Encourage you to come out if you're a business owner and network there. And then Friday, we are in Lynchburg at Vector Space. Right off Memorial Avenue. That is Friday from 8 to 10. So come and enjoy. We have a great turnout of businesses that come out to that event. So it's a good way to get your name out, pass out some business cards, make some of those connections. I'm a strong relationship person. I'm very big on like building relationships because I think that is important. It's one thing to just get a business card, but when you're face to face with somebody and you can really connect with them, I think that's big. And we kind of provide those services. And then lastly, Christmas parades are coming. Again, I'm not doing Christmas till after Thanksgiving, but these are after Thanksgiving. But December 7th, the Bedford Christmas Parade is happening at 11 a.m. And the Lynchburg Christmas Parade is the following day on Sunday, the 8th at 4 p.m. We are still accepting applications for the Christmas Parade. So if you want to have a float, if you want to drive your vehicle, if you want to march, you can go online, cvabc.org. Go under events and click on the Christmas parade that you want to attend and fill out the application. We are accepting applications through Monday. Monday at 5 p.m. is the absolute deadline cutoff. Don't call me after. We're gonna be cut off that day. And Woody laughs because he knows I'm lying. I'm not lying.
Affirmed
it is
off or like a heathered off. Like.
So technically the deadline is Friday. So Monday is the Heather deadline. Friday was the Autumn, my event planner deadline. And if she's listening, she's probably like, oh, for gracious.
So Heather, Autumn Friday. That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
not
Autumn's
Monday.
saying Friday. Yes.
The Friday before the Heather Monday, not the Friday after the Heather Monday.
Right, okay. Right. Yeah. So if you want to participate in either the Bedford or the Lynchburg parades, get your applications in no later than Monday. And right now, like I was just telling Woody earlier, the Bedford parade is shaping up to be bigger than last year. And we had a huge parade last year, but we already have a ton of entries for Bedford. Lynchburg parade is happening, like I said, on the 8th at 4. Unfortunately, we had to move things this year because of Thanksgiving. Rustburg is having their Christmas parade at 3. So we've had a little bit of, conflicting. Some businesses are having to choose which one they're part of, but whichever parade you go out and enjoy, I'm sure you'll have a great time. Rustburg's parade is at 3. I'll also mention if you're in a parade mood, there's parades happening. Appomattox, their Christmas parade is December the 1st, starting at 4:30 p.m. in downtown Appomattox. So you're definitely going to want to go check that out if you want to start your Christmas spirit right there on the 1st. And then Amherst, their Christmas parade is December 6th in the evening. And then Alta Vista's Christmas parade is on the 7th, same day as Bedford's, but theirs is at 5. So you can do both of those parades that day as well.
But let's be honest. Bedford's is best.
Bedford's.
Let's no offense.
Bedford's is a great parade. I'm
laying it out there.
Here's the thing I love about Bedford and even like Appomattox, Alta Vista, the small town feel of those parades
great.
going, they're really nice. And I'm really excited for this year and the participants we have. So, and then also though, if you're not heading out to Alta Vista, literally on December 7th, you can hang out in Bedford all day. There is so much going on. So as you guys know, the Bedford Welcome Center has started their Festival of Trees, where you can go in there and look at all the different trees that have gone up that businesses have put up and you can vote, for your favorites. One of my favorite things to do and my daughter's favorite things is the scavenger hunt you can do through the trees. So you can check that out. There's also of course, we do the tree lighting event in Bedford, downtown Bedford. That's from 3 to 6 p.m. And we'll have the foam guy. So he also does snow. So he'll be out there making snow among the streets of Bedford for that. And we light the town tree at 6. But there's also there's 2 Christmas markets also happening in Bedford on that day. The Bedford Area Chamber of Commerce is doing their Christmas market at Spring Oak, where you can go. I think that is it's either from 2 to 6 or 1 to 6, but you can go over there and do some shopping. And then the Bedford Farmers Market is going to be open in the evening as well to shop while you're visiting the tree lighting. So tons of things to do. I'm pretty sure that's also the same weekend that the D-Day Memorial does their, the flames of the candle.
It's always pretty.
Yeah, it's really cool where they do all the candles up to the D-Day Memorial. So December 7th is definitely... Let's do Christmas in Bedford Day. So come on out, spend the whole entire...
Bedford is the Christmas capital.
Of Virginia.
Yeah.
So they say. So come on out and spend the whole day with us and then, eat local, shop local. I'm so excited about all the things. So I'm going to get off my Christmas parade soapbox now, but just want to put there lots of things for you guys to do. But I'm gonna start talking to my first guest today, and I'm excited to learn more about John. I've got John here with ProTech My PC, and I'm really excited to learn more about what you do and how you can help businesses. And one of those reasons is because I feel like around this time of year, people really need your help a lot, and we're going to be talking about cybersecurity. And I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, right around now, I mean, because I know people are spending money, they're doing online transactions, things like that. Do you see more people that get hacked or stuff around this time of year?
Yeah, this is, according to experts and research, the quarter of the year, the end of the year quarter, is when cybercrime is at its highest. That's
what I kind of figured. So I want to first let's get started. I jumped in, just started asking questions, but I want to find out first of all, what is ProTech My PC? Tell us a little bit about your business, and we'll kind of jump into cybersecurity.
Sure. So ProTech My PC specializes mainly in helping people in two ways. One is with emergency computer repair or cybercrime incidents. So 24/7 help is available. If you feel like you have something that needs to be repaired immediately, that could be the weekends, evenings, or holidays. Or if you feel like you've been hacked or there's been a breach and you want to talk to somebody, maybe whatever's happening is still going on the computer screen, you can give us a call, and we'll be happy to guide you on what the next best step will be. And sometimes that's most of the time. Mm-hmm. It's very important that you do talk to someone that can help you to stay level, because many of those crimes are emotionally driven to get you to make the wrong move.
Right.
Yeah.
So what is and what isn't cybersecurity?
It's a very good question. So you hear a lot about it, but a good way to understand it is just to compare it to financial security, which most of us might be more familiar with. But a good way to explain what financial security is basically you have enough to cover your living expenses, you're planning for the future, and you can handle an emergency without feeling stressed. And so it involves having things like steady income. You have enough to meet your needs. You have an emergency fund, so in case something unexpected happens, you would be covered. You have very little or no debt, and you have a good relationship with it. You're not living paycheck to paycheck. You got retirement savings for the future, and overall, you just feel like you're in control of your money. And that's achieved through several different things, not just one thing. And so cybersecurity is very, very similar if you want to compare it to that. Instead of having a steady income, you have ongoing security habits that you do all the time. Instead of having an emergency fund, you have what's called an incident response plan, a short little to-do list, either in your head or written out, of things you'll do if you're ever a victim of a crime to respond to immediately. Instead of having little or no debt, you would have a stable and up-to-date network of devices and software applications. In effect, making sure that all your locks are working and they're good in case someone would try to break in. And when it comes to the future and feeling in control, you will constantly educate yourself on what's happening in cybersecurity. People financially study the markets. With cybersecurity, the continued education is just being aware of what's going on in cyberspace. And just like with the financial security, you wouldn't say, oh, my financial security is covered, I use Quicken. Mm-hmm. Well, that's one part of it. And so people might say, my cybersecurity is good, I use Norton.
Right.
Well, that's just one part of it. So financial security is achieved through a practice of several different things together. It could be using Quicken, having a financial advisor. Could be saving money in coffee cans and burying them in the backyard. But it's a plan of several different things that you use together to give you a strategy, which you've heard a lot when it comes to finances, right? Well, cybersecurity, in short, should be a digital strategy that helps to protect you from cybercrime.
Wow, that's really great. I mean, I love the way you worded all of that, because you were really in depth with it, and I understood it. So that's really cool. Because sometimes with stuff like that, I think people get, it's a lot of words they don't know, and then they're just like, oh, well, I'm just not going to worry about it because I don't understand it, and I get like that too. Like when I don't understand something, I'm kind of like, oh, well, okay, I'm sure I probably need it, but I don't want to dive deep into it. But how important is it for small businesses to have a cybersecurity plan? You know, I think a lot of small businesses think, oh, I'm not big enough for anyone to worry about, you know, trying to breach my, you know, my security or my computers or anything like that. And they look at it as an expense maybe they don't need until they do. So how important is it for like a small business to have that cybersecurity, you know, through someone like your company?
It's very important. A recent study revealed that small businesses are actually the new target for cyber criminals, and it's at an unprecedented high. It's actually $1 trillion industry in terms of what the cyber criminals are doing and what they're making. And the reason why small businesses are a hot target for them is that they have more money than individuals do. So if you're a criminal, you're trying to make as much money quickly and easily as possible. But a small business doesn't have the same level of security that like a larger Fortune 500 company would have. And they may not necessarily get the same response from law enforcement as a Fortune 500 company would if they tried to go prosecute it. So, you know, small businesses are ripe also due to the fact that they generally don't have IT departments like big companies do. And the same study had brought out that some 41% of the businesses polled in this study didn't even have a backup of their data. And that can be very, very critical and can really make or break a company if they were a victim of a breach and the data was stolen.
So I'm not going to lie, many moons ago, a couple years, maybe last month. No, I'm just kidding. But it's been a while. But I used to, like, I didn't back up I didn't know how to. Like, you know, for me, I was just like, I had everything on one little flash drive. I carried around everywhere. And one day I had the flash drive in and I accidentally put my computer down and sat it on something. It broke it. And I was devastated. I was like, oh my gosh, that's my life right there. And I mean, this isn't really security, but when you're thinking about just even backing up stuff, and luckily I was still able to pull it off and then back it up. But, you know, I think that's important that people have those options and know how to do things like that. And I would also think, like, for small businesses, they would have more to lose in a security breach because, you know, some of that's their life savings. Like, they put everything into it. And if they lose it all, they're wiped out in a way. You know, that's why I would think too, for small business, it would be important to invest in cybersecurity.
And that's a good word. The word is investment. And that is the way that a business should look at cybersecurity. You should look at it as an investment. There are fines for data breaches, depending on what gets stolen. For instance, you have to report certain breaches to the state of Virginia because of certain laws, depending on what's stolen. One of them would be if employee information gets stolen, their social security numbers get stolen, you have a responsibility as a business owner to report that to one of the agencies of the state of Virginia in a certain period of time.
Right.
These are the type of things that, for instance, if you hire, you know, my company or another, you know, what would be the thing would be to find out exactly, you know, what type of nature your business is and what your responsibility would be based on laws if you ever were a victim. That could cost a lot of money if you get prosecuted legally. But in addition to having a breach, if it ever went public and it was on the news, there's reputational damage.
Right.
Customers don't really want to build a relationship with a business that may be seen as being negligent when it comes to keeping track of their personal information. And of course, there's the financial loss too, if money's actually taken or stolen. So when it comes to the approach that ProTech My PC takes, it's more really thinking about those three things, like what needs to be done to protect you legally, reputation-wise, and financially if a breach occurs. And, you know, a program like Norton or you going out and finding something similar isn't going to ask those questions. It's just a software program. It's not going to really protect you from your worst day scenario. And that's one of the things that I like to ask when I meet with a business owner is like, tell me, like, what would be the worst thing? A warrant being served because of negligence on your part, you being sued by customers, a class action lawsuit because data was stolen, you being featured perhaps on the news because of your negligence, or you going to check the company accounts and notice that they're below zero like you're in the negative because so much money has been stolen. And what would take you the longest to recover from? The cybersecurity strategy that we would come up with will be based on preventing that worst day. And then you would we would work our way back from that.
So talking about prevention, what are mistakes to avoid, as a business owner to keep you from, potentially being hacked or having, a threat to your security?
Well, we just discussed that one, that you're not viewing it as an investment, but you're looking at it as an expense. So that's mistake number one, because we're all the same way. You think about money going out of your pocket. As soon as you hear it's going to cost something, your brain stops thinking, right? And you don't want to consider anything further. So the first one is just try to get beyond that, to stay open-minded. All right, this is an investment. We're going to get money back. And it's a great marketing tool to explain to people that you have a cybersecurity policy. It can help you differentiate between the competition. And that's very important to people. So it can help make money if you use it the right way. Underestimating the threat would be number two. It's not a question anymore if, it's a question of when. It's going to happen. And so I like to say that I'm a protection provider. I provide you what you need to protect yourself rather than provide security. Security would be like having ADT, but ADT doesn't really do you a whole lot of good once they get inside the home. Then you need law enforcement. Well, I like to provide not cybersecurity, but cyber protection, to give you tools and to have a plan so that we're expecting this is going to happen. But when it does happen, they're going to find that the safe is empty, or you're going to be able to actually run this software program that I'm going to teach you how to use so that you can respond immediately to the threat. So you're armed instead of just having a security system. So that is where we are now. Maybe 20 years ago, small businesses could possibly say, it's just a matter of if. Now it's really when. It's going to happen.
And I feel like in today's times, I feel like I'm a grandma back when I was young. But like, I can't go a day without receiving some sort of email, phone call, some sort of spam. So click on this, your UPS thing hasn't been delivered and we've had to retrack it somewhere else. And then, they need your bank account information to open it up or something. It's to the point now where you're trying to stay vigilant, but they're coming up with new and creative ways to make you feel like, oh, I've got to make sure this has happened, or especially now at Christmas, my package isn't getting delivered. Let me click on this. I'll pay extra to make sure it's getting here on time. So I'm assuming things like that too are things people need to look at. Like, what are they clicking into? What are they, because that opens up a whole new batch of worms, but like then, y'all are there to kind of weed that out and protect on that end.
Yeah. So that's the education part. And so resources are available. My company puts out a newsletter every month, and I try to put in there at least 4 different scams to be aware of every month. And it's a service to the community. There's no cost. And you can go to ProTechMyPC.com and scroll down to the bottom of the page to subscribe to the newsletter. But that kind of ties into employee training. That's a big one. If you have employees, it's good to, remind them, like print that email out that came through and tape it somewhere where they can all see it. If you see this, don't click on it.
Right.
Staying abreast of the news. If you have an iPhone, Apple News is a great outlet. They have a cybersecurity section if you scroll through that can just kind of let you know about what some of the newest scams are. And, in addition to that, applying the advice that's given, no weak passwords, your dog's name, your children's name, those aren't good passwords. It's recommended now that they be at least 15 to 16 characters long, have at least 1 capital letter, a number, and a special character. And you try to come up with something that makes sense to you, but gibberish to everybody else so that you can easily remember it. And of course, you still need to have things like antivirus software. That's part of it. And that's kind of like the gold standard of where to get started, and making sure that you keep your software up to date. Realistically, most business owners just don't have as much time to keep track of all of that. And so one of the services that ProTech My PC provides is a service called ProTech My SMB, or my small, medium-sized business. And it's a tailored plan that basically covers all of that for you, includes the software, and surprisingly is very affordable. And it's just basically essentially what you need to be able to keep everything up to date, and also to do some proactive things too. Like, for instance, making sure you do have a list in place that if a breach ever took place, you'd be covered, or taking the time to look through your business insurance and seeing what they say you have to do to be able to file a claim. You'll be surprised sometimes if you look at the data breach rider, it'll actually say that you need to have someone that does work like myself actually check these things out if you actually were going to be able to collect money.
So in the last 15 minutes, I have learned like quite a few new things. Like, I had no clue that there was a data breach rider. Like, those are things that like I personally feel like I need to go check on when I leave here today. And I know you just kind of touched on some of the things, but I want to kind of get into, with ProTech My PC, you know, what do you offer businesses, like plans? Like, if someone were to call you today and say, hey, like, you know, what are some of those plans? Because I feel like people think cybersecurity is very expensive, but I know you and I have talked, and I have been extremely impressed on the plans that you have for small business owners.
Sure. So we have a software only option where you can get firewall, a data shredder that securely deletes things, antivirus, and VPN, and some other features for as low as $5.55 a month per machine. And that includes monitoring, so that if you do get flagged by something, you'd get a call from me within a week, or a text message saying, hey, you went to this site. I don't think it's a good idea to go there again. You might want to do things different. Then we have the cyber crime, or I should call it the proactive/reactive protection. That's just $99.95 a month. And what you get with it, you can either use it every month for an hour of labor on anything technical, or if you decide to do the proactive approach, we'll have a security meeting that will go beyond what the initial assessment will be. So when you sign up for the plan, you get a free security assessment, and I will go through and basically, once you tell me what your worst day would be, I'd be like, okay, with a nice little map that's a good visual, we'll show basically these are all the things you need to protect. You know, your online accounts, things that are inside the business. And in addition, some other things too that aren't really physical, like your reputation or legality, based on which one would be the worst for you. And then each month that you decide, I don't want to do anything reactive, John, let's just keep working through our strategy here. We'll meet and I'll make recommendations saying, okay, you know, if your worst case scenario is complete financial loss, here's something that you need to do. You should probably have things set up in such a way so that you're keeping the bulk of your money in your savings account, not in the checking. Because if it ever got hacked, they would be able to get access to everything. So that's one of the little strategies that I would mention. So a lot of it is just knowing what to do. And you'll get that tailored to whatever your situation is as part of that service for $99 a month. And then you actually get a break on the software too. If you decide you want to get the software suite, it's actually a little cheaper than $5.55 per machine. And there are a few other add-ons too. Online backup software to cover you, that's included for under $10. That's the add-on. And then also, you may have heard of something like LastPass.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we resell something called Nord Password Manager. And that helps to protect your online accounts and help you to remember passwords. And that too is like around $8 a month.
I think that was one of the things you and I were talking about at my office, because LastPass actually got breached at one point.
At least 3 times.
Yeah. And I know we were talking about that because I'm one of those people that I probably need to look at my passwords. My issue is as I make one and then I'm really good at forgetting and I don't write it down. So then I make that the same, like for all things that I know that's bad. No, like smack my hand right now, John. I get it. So yeah. But yeah, I think what I'm hearing though, from what you're saying is it's very affordable.
It is.
To have some sort of protection, you know, with you guys.
Yeah. So those things that we all could do, making sure things stay up to date, responding to emergencies, taking these steps. almost like a security advisor. ProTech My PC basically makes sure all of that stays up to date. And then based on feedback that I got from business owners, because of how services in the past were marketed, people want to actually see someone. They want to know that they're local. So I'll strive, like I said, that you'll always have communication with me every month. And instead of you having to look at the screen and figure it out, I take all of that and say, hey, just to let you know, these many machines were out of date. This was the last time the backup run. You might want to let this employee know, turn the machine on for me after the meeting's over so I can make sure it's up to date. So I give the business owners transparency so they always are aware of what's going on. And then they can make great business decisions based on the technical information I'm giving.
Awesome. So if someone listening in today wants to get a hold of you, to have you come out and, have that conversation, just kind of look at what they've got going on, what's the best way for someone to reach out?
Well, you can call and you can text 434-515-2050. You can also go online to ProTechMyPC.com. That's ProTechMyPC.com. You can reach me that way. Information, of course, is also available on the Business Coalition website. So you could always go there and look under technical resources to find me. And once again, if it's an emergency, feel free to reach out to me. I enjoy helping people in this way. And I love being able to fill that need. So even if you're not interested at this time, keep my number in case something ever does come up that troubles you, and feel free to reach out to me.
Okay. Thank you. Shoot, Mike's not here to ask the question. I have to do it. I almost forgot. So normally we ask 2 questions of each of our guests. The first one is, how long have you been a member of the CVABC?
Since May.
Since May. So not quite a year. But and since May, what have you found to be one of the biggest benefits of being a member?
Yeah, for me, I would say the market that I'm trying to help out the most are mom and pop businesses because it's such a need, right? And so you definitely have a better resource and network of being able to get in touch with them by being a member of the Business Coalition. So that's been great. I've been able to meet a lot of people. The events are nice, very laid back. So I'll have to say, for anybody else that's listening in that's thinking about joining, if your target market definitely are smaller local businesses that you really want to help and target, or really people that support those businesses, this is a good organization to be a part of.
Awesome. Thank you. No, thank you so much for coming on with us today. I have learned a lot. I hope people have listened in have learned a lot. In a short, 20 minutes, there's already things I feel like I need to go back myself and look at and see if we're following some of these protocols that we need to, and hint, we're probably not. So I appreciate your help, and it's been great. Hopefully someone listening will be reaching out real soon, because really great information. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, appreciate you having me. Thank you.
All right. We are going to cut to a quick commercial, and we will be right back. Hey, Mike, let me tell you about our friends at Freedom Heating, Air, and Electrical. They're veteran owned, and not only do they handle your heating, cooling, and electrical needs, but now they've added plumbing services too. These guys are really covering all the bases.
And they just launched the Freedom Home Guard Whole Home Membership. With this, you get year-round protection for everything. Plus, if you're looking for peace of mind during power outages, they've got you covered with generator installations too. Priority service, discounts, and protection for your whole home. Heating, cooling, electrical, plumbing, and generators. Whatever you need, they've got your back.
So if you want complete home protection, check out Freedom Heating, Air, and Electrical. Trust me, your home will thank you.
Freedom Heating, Air, and Electrical. Serving those who serve us.
Hold on, I'm struggling.
Mike came back in the studio just to do that commercial, then left real quick.
Right,
so
yeah,
it's pretty amazing that he did that just for that spot. So
I'm over here struggling to get back in my seat because somebody still needs to get a new rug.
I'll cut the corners of the rug.
This rug is going to be my demise one day. Able to fall over.
It does frustrate a lot of people.
But yeah, speaking of the commercial, if you are interested in being a sponsor of Talk Local to Me and having your commercial play, either before our segment, during the segment, or at the, what is it called, the end? What is it called?
Intag.
Outro. That's the word. Outro. Yeah. We would love to be able to support your business. It's $100 for the month. So you've got usually 4 podcasts a month live.
Yep.
However,
every week, noon to 1.
And then the millions of download subscribers we have that listen in each week that are hearing all for $100. You can't beat it. So
you really can't.
Let us know if you're interested. You can either come in and record your own commercial, or like Freedom Heating and Air. Mike and I did our host red commercial for that. So you can do it either way. And if you are also listening in, I encourage you to like and subscribe to the podcast, Talk Local to Me. Make sure you download the Grove Street FM app. You can listen there live when we're there, but you can also find us on Spotify, iTunes, all the
big ones. All the big ones, but the main one.
The main one.
It's Grove Street FM.
It's Grove Street FM.
I mean, that's honestly. Why would you need any other app? Really?
And, okay.
It's the only one.
I know this is getting off track. Are you seriously got Christmas music channels going on right
yes,
now?
Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I would have launched them in September.
We're going to have
if I didn't worry about other people's harsh feedback coming at me. But
are you talking about me?
I'm talking about a lot of people. A lot of people get upset if you put it out there. But yes, we have 3 spectacular, really tight mixes available in the app right now. Mm-hmm. And I mean, these are quality, like really, like I've got 3 of them for people to listen to. Wonderful. So if you're in the Christmas mood, I've got a fantastic playlist with Santa's Hits. It's fantastic.
Yes. Well, if you enjoy listening to Talk Local to Me, I do highly encourage you to download Grove Street, the Grove Street FM app, because we are not the only podcast that is produced here out of Media Squatch. There are multiple. I mean, we're like the coolest, but but no, there are some really great podcasts going on that you can check out as well. On that site, and music streaming, all the good things. So, all
the good things.
Yeah, just wanted to throw that out there for you, buddy.
Thank you so much.
But so we're going to be moving from like cybersecurity. I kind of think it ties in a little well, but we're going to be talking about websites for the second half of the show, and the importance of having one. And I say that even if you are active on social media. I get a lot of people that are like, oh, well, why do I need a website? I've got Facebook, I've got TikTok, I've got Instagram, I've got all the things. There's so many popping up nowadays. I don't even know all the social media stuff. But, websites are important. I know me personally, a lot of times I will go to somebody's website and I kind of judge them by their website sometimes. Yeah. So I'm here with Cheryl today from WoW Graphic Designs. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And I got to see you 2 days in a row because yesterday we did the coffee chat. So thanks for having those. It's just a great way to meet other Central Virginia business owners and network and find out what kind of services are available locally.
I thank you so much for that. We were talking about Cheryl's you're from Pamplin. Mm-hmm. And we met at the Appomattox Coffee Talks, and we're really trying to grow our presence out in the Appomattox area, especially with like small businesses. So we host a coffee talk out there as well every month. So we've kind of worked our way to having 3 a month, which I think is really cool. But I wanted to find out let's start talking about how WoW Graphic Designs got started.
Well, when I was, after I graduated from college, I started working in a couple of different places. I was at a hospital doing public relations. And then I had my first son there, and then I had my second son. And I said, I don't really want to go back to work, in a corporate job. And so I started working and doing graphic designs at home in my basement. And at that time, I'm dating myself, but people really didn't even have websites back then. So they started wanting to get websites. So then I started branching out. And of course, the technology has changed so much in all that time that I've, really had to adapt. Mm-hmm. And now we offer website development and design for moms and other women and anybody really who wants to work on their digital presence without having to spend a lot of time doing it themselves. Like you were saying earlier, it's sometimes hard to do things all by yourself because you have a lot to do as a business owner.
100%. And again, I go back to, I feel like I personally know I am not good at graphic design. I am not good at anything creative, to be quite honest. The less I have to do with any of that, the better. And so, I have tried before, like, what is it? Like, we used to have a Wix site for the Christmas parade.
Yeah.
And I would go on there and try and like do it. And it just got so confusing. It got so frustrating to me that I just quit. Like, I was like, I'm just not going to do anymore because it's frustrating. And I didn't like how it looked. And again, I do think people, they do judge you off of what they see, whether, it's your website or your social media and things like that. And they make judgments and decide whether they want to work with you based on things like that. Mm-hmm. So having somebody like WoW Graphic Designs come in and be able to help you do that and see your vision and, bring to the table like what you're hoping your stuff will look like. I think it's really important for business owners that's one less thing you have to worry about. And if you're not great at it, let somebody else do it. That is, good. So I think that's really important. Is there a certain type of website you specialize in or you like to do more than others?
Yeah, that's a good question. We, being a mom and now a grandmom myself, again, dating myself, but I've been doing this for a long time. We like to help females, mothers who are trying to do the same thing that we're doing. The people that work for me are all moms or maybe horse moms. I'm a horse person. So some of the girls that work with me are more horse moms, but they still like to be able to have time to spend with what they want to do, not just stuck in a job where they're at a desk all day. And so we want to help these people be able to start their businesses and keep them going safely. And like John was talking about with security with your website, there's so much involved that people don't know about. Mm-hmm. And we like to work with people who are supporting other moms and other businesses that are providing services for moms, especially like holistic health type of things. Mm-hmm. That's our specialty, but we work with all different kinds of clients.
I like how you mentioned mompreneurs. That's what I'm thinking, mompreneurs.
So I guess that's what I was way back when I started my business, but it wasn't a thing then.
Yeah. Well, I think again, it's something that kind of alleviates work from, I know for me, I have so much I have to do. And whether it's family, whether it's work, and especially at work, I have like 6 things going. The last thing I want to worry about is, what does my website look like? Or is it being updated correctly? Or is this, I want to just know that it is.
Yeah. And from a security standpoint, that's something a lot of people don't know about. Like the things that John was talking about. I mean, your website can get hacked. So you can be selling baby clothes, and if your website gets hacked tomorrow, it's like redirected to a porn site or something.
Oh yeah,
it's terrible for your customers to experience and for you to have to fix when you don't know the first thing about it. So that's one of the parts of what we do. But we also like to create websites that are beautiful but functional. And so when you're off doing all the things that you have to do, especially during the holidays, that your website can be generating leads for you and doing things for you in the back end, so you can spend that time with your family.
So I know, I mentioned at the beginning of kind of the intro, like should you have a website? With so many people that use social media now, are websites still important?
Well, the short answer is yes.
Okay.
Because, so many things can happen to your social media accounts. Again, they can get hacked, or Facebook or Instagram or somebody can just say, well, we're closing your site down, or we're closing your page down. And it's happened to so many people. And then if you don't have a website, how do people find you? You can start over again, but how long does it take you to get the thousands of followers that you have and have to start over again?
Right.
And then you're always having to create content every day or every other day or whatever, and doing all this work on your social media. They can change the algorithms on you. So what you were doing yesterday might not work today, but that website is always there in the background with some evergreen content that can be used over and over again. So you write a blog post about how you're providing a service to help your clients, and then you can use that on your social media and refer to the blog post. So they drive people to the website from social media, and social media just supports it, but it shouldn't necessarily be the end all. You should always, and people always ask, do you have a website? That's one of the first things they ask you when you talk about a business.
Yep, I agree. I ask about a website before I ask about social media.
Yeah.
Now, you kind of just touched on it a little bit, but, having both, which most people probably do, website and social media, how do you use the two together effectively to push that traffic back and forth?
Yeah. Well, I always tell people that people don't go on your website every day, but they do go on their social media every day. So you have important things on your website. You want people to see them. So you go to social media, which is where they are, and say, hey, check this out on our website. or refer to posts that you have on your website, or just answer questions. And like if somebody is asking you, what services do you provide? You can give them a rundown on social media and then direct them to your website.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to explain everything and write a book every time somebody asks you about something. So it's a really great way to drive traffic back and forth, because people aren't necessarily just automatically checking your website every day, but they are checking their social media every day.
I think too, I know for me, I get frustrated sometimes with social media when, like, for example, let's say we put up, okay, we're going to have an event, or we talk about a certain business, and people see it, but then it goes away because social media refreshes. If you touch it's just gone. And so I like to be able to go to the website and be like, oh, okay, I saw where they posted this. Maybe they have an event calendar. Maybe they have something posted about it. And when they're coordinating like that, you don't have to go back through and then scroll and hope it pops back up or hope you find it. I mean, it's
Which
there.
you won't.
Right. I mean, it's there, but then you do have that website that is, they can pull it up and it's got the facts and it's got the things that they need. Yeah. And I think that's important, because I get frustrated with, social media period. But
Well, that's another reason, because people do get tired of it. And then they've come out with so many new ones. I mean, there's Threads, and then I just read of another new one. And so you can't possibly be active on all of them.
If anyone can teach me how to do Threads, y'all are more. I can't understand that stinking social media platform. I get up there, and if I want to see a comment, I try and click, and it sends me to something else, and I don't even understand that. So it's worse than, what is it, X now? Twitter? Tweeting? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't do any of that.
It's X.
I'm and you would think I'd be good at it. I mean, I'm not a millennial, but I'm not, I'm just not good. So in talking about websites and social media, which one should like a business have first? Like if they're looking at getting started?
We always recommend for people to get the website first, because again, we think of a website like your hub, and the social media is the spokes that are, connecting people to your website. So if you go on social media and you start talking about your services and all the things that you can offer people, and you don't have a website to back it up, number one, it's more professional to have a website and more trustworthy. People think you're actually a legitimate business. They say, okay, she's serious. She's got a website. You know what I mean? Rather than just talking about it, you can prove it by showing what you have and what you offer.
Yeah. And I know you were talking about like that's where your branding lives versus like, you're doing the update. But like if people go there, they can really dive into your business.
Right. We try really hard to help people not only with the website, but with the social media, like the graphics that we can do and everything to keep the branding consistent, because it's so important. When you go to somebody's social media page and you just see all kinds of random pictures with random text that doesn't match each other, and then you go to their website and it's like this beautiful website that has special colors that are for their brand and that gives you that feeling. The branding is really to evoke a feeling of what that person is seeing when they're looking at you. It represents you. So keeping everything consistent between both is super important.
So is a website kind of like you just set it and you forget it for a while, or should you do daily postings or updates or things to your website, kind of like you do with social media?
Well, it definitely needs some attention. You can't just do a website and never update it, because then people come there and they see stale content. And they think, well, what's the point? This person hasn't done anything on here, or it's the same stuff I saw the last time I came here. So yes, it's important to keep it updated. And also from a security standpoint, a lot of the websites are done on open source programs now. So you want to make sure you keep all the plugins updated, make sure that you're monitoring the website, because like I said, people aren't necessarily going to it every day, and you're definitely not going to it every day. And so if it gets hacked, it might be a while, and you might wait until somebody else finds out about it before you hear about it, which is not good. You want to keep on top of that.
Right.
So, we offer these care plans and maintenance packages to help take care of that for people, to watch the security, help if there's any kind of malware that's inserted onto your website. Do the backups, like John was talking about how important backups are for your data. It's the same with your website, especially if you are doing a lot of stuff on there every day. You don't want to have a backup once a month if you're updating products and people are buying things from your website, because you need those orders and everything saved. So we have different plans that sort of help people with that. Again, you can do it yourself, but if you don't do it regularly, it's very hard to stay on top of, number one, the security updates that need to be made, and number two, how to do things. Because you would do it once, we can show you how to do it, and then the next time you do it, you're like, I know I did this before, but I don't remember how.
Yeah.
Where we do it all the time, so it's just second nature, and it's a lot quicker. It's more efficient. I can tell you that.
I used to, it was probably 2 or 3 years ago. I tried to start my own. I mean, I probably still do it every now and then, but like I used to do like online children's clothes, like consignment. Like I'd sell them on like eBay, or like I tried to start my own like Shopify. Nope. I got so mad and confused within like a week. I just shut it down. I said, forget it. I'll just keep trying to do it on like eBay or something. But it's always something I've wanted to do. Is that something like you help with, like stuff like that, like helping?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep, we help with all different kinds of websites, and sometimes people need it more for informational purposes or educational purposes. Sometimes they have e-commerce. There's a different range of care plans and websites that we provide that support all those different types of websites.
Well, it's awesome that you offer that type of support, because like you were talking about, you work a lot with like busy moms or even those small businesses that just don't have the time to delve into it. So it could be a game changer for them, because I've always said time is money. I mean, if you're sitting here spending hours on trying to figure something out where you could be spending it on something else in your business where you're actually making the money,
right?
Being able to have someone that can come in and do that work for you, honestly, is making money
for sure
versus losing it.
And then saving you the frustration, allowing you to spend your time with your family, doing things that you want, and also focusing on your business to get leads and increase your business, not just maintain it, you know?
Well, and I know we've talked a lot about websites, but I do want to ask, you do graphic design too.
Yes, we do.
So for anyone who just needs logos or
we do branding packages for logos, because logos just part of your branding. So we like to do a full branding package, and especially for somebody starting a business, it's awesome because we provide the initial thing is a consultation, a strategy session that we do with you to help you decide what you're offering, who you're offering it to, like really diving deep into who your ideal clients are, so that your messaging and your branding can carry all that through, and that people don't have to stare at anything and figure out what you're doing. It just automatically shows them what kind of business you are and what kind of people you serve. And you always want to talk about what you're solving for your clients. Think problems that they have that you're solving. It's not about you, it's about them. So we try to make the websites make that clear, so that they go on there and say, well, this is a problem I'm having, and obviously this business can help me solve it.
I'm really big on branding, because I feel like, I think really good branding is key for a business. If you like have a name, like if your name is one thing, but your branding is something completely different, and people are like, how does that even, work? You see a lot of people that recognize businesses just due to a logo. They've got those logo games you can play online. Like, if you see Golden Arches, it's McDonald's, you know who it is. And that's kind of where you want to get yourself, even as a small business. You want someone to see your brand, see your logo, and know, oh, that's such and such.
Yeah, that factor of being recognized and being consistent, so that people are always going to see the same thing, and they're not going to see flashing neon lights on your social media posts when your website is like scripty font and something very calming, so you need to make sure that it all matches. And that's another thing that people don't consider when they're doing things themselves, is they don't necessarily have the big picture. So doing a website is not just taking some text that you wrote and some pictures that you gave and sticking it on a page. It's a lot more involved than that. For us, we really like to make it a beautiful, functional site that matches your branding and speaks to your ideal customer, so that those people find you. And that's another part of it, is the search engine optimization and having the on-page search engine terms and the speed that your website needs, that and all that, so that Google can find you easily and start putting you in those search engine results.
Well, I know, at least I think I know. I may be saying this wrong, and if I do, Cheryl, you can correct me. But like if you're looking for an example, you do. Apparently, the train has something to say. Hold on, we'll let that train come through. But you've redone, is it the town of Appomattox? So their website?
The tourism website.
Yeah, the tourism
historic Appomattox.
It's beautiful. So if anyone's listening that wants to just go see some of Cheryl's work, I can throw that out there, because it's fabulous. I've gone on it, and it's very easy. to go through and find information. And I love it. So I wanted to kind of point that out.
Thank you.
Somebody wanted to kind of check it out. But I thank you for coming on with me.
Thanks for having me. It was wonderful.
If somebody wants to chat with you more about, graphic design or websites, what's the best way for them to get a hold of you?
Well, of course, they can visit our website, which is wowgraphicdesigns.com. So WOW graphic, and then designs has the S at the end.com. We also have an Instagram page and Facebook, and my phone number, if anyone wants to call anytime, they're welcome. That's another thing that we like to pride ourselves in, is we don't make you fill out a form all the time and get back to you with an email. We actually answer the phone. So my number is 434-664-7057. And again, on social media and on our website, we'd be happy to talk to anybody who's interested.
That's a good point. Before I ask my two questions, do you know when I go to a website, this is for anyone out there that's listening, if I get there and I go to the contact us page and it is just a fill out this form and there's no other way to contact you, I will 100% go to the next person. I'm
not sure if that is a factor of age or not, because it seems like a lot of younger people don't want to talk to anybody on the phone and they want to text people. But I am much more happy to have a conversation either in person or on the phone with someone, because I think it's so much easier to get so much more accomplished quicker.
Yeah. I understand that. I know some people probably do it that way so they don't have to deal with like spam or, sales solicitations. I get it, but I don't know. It's a turnoff for me. I'm just saying. Turnoffs. Heather's turnoffs. Don't have a contact us page that I can't get a hold of you for. Okay. So Cheryl, we ask all of our guests 2 questions. How long have you been a member of the CBBC?
I think sometime within the last year I joined.
Yep. I want to say it was around April. April-ish. I want to say it was around April or May. And what have you found to be a great benefit of being a member?
Well, so far, I think the coffee talks have been really great, because you can get together with the business owners and have these in-person conversations like we talked about, and meet people that may have businesses that can support you in things that you're needing to do, like John and his cybersecurity, or perhaps even people that have other clients that they might need to refer to you. And I think that's a big part of it too, is that referral network has been super important. And we love having that available to us in Appomattox, because as you know, we don't have a Chamber of Commerce in Appomattox any longer. So it's nice to have something that's supporting all the businesses too.
I think, and I say this a lot, I love our members. I love the relationships. I think there's just a lot of genuine connections that get made at Coffee Talk, or even just from our members, meeting, having coffee or lunch. And one of the things that I think about our organization is that we have a lot of our members, there's no gatekeepers. Like they're the business owners. They're making those decisions. They're able to kind of work together. I think since our last Coffee Talk in Appomattox, we had one this past Tuesday, and we were talking about how many of the members actually had used each other just from that last Coffee Talk.
Right.
To come in and do business with. And it just makes me, I feel so joyful when I see that. It's just awesome.
Yeah.
So,
it's again, like you said, shopping local is so important. I mean, I would much rather call somebody like John, who's local, that can help me with problems, rather than just some unnamed online thing that you find that you may not have any reviews or any personal experience with.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking next Saturday. I'm not coming in on Saturday, Woody. Don't get concerned.
What?
We're going to be talking about next Wednesday. I'm going to be chatting a little bit more about Small Business Saturday. But definitely just throw it out there. Start looking around, whether it's on people's websites or social media. A lot of small businesses are doing different types of discounts or promotions for Small Business Saturday. I know the town of Appomattox is having a big thing where a lot of the small businesses are having open houses. If you get our newsletter, we put out a whole list of Appomattox businesses and the date, the times that they'll be open that day. The town of Bedford, they are open and ready. I'm sure Campbell County area, Rustburg, even those downtown Lynchburg. Downtown Lynchburg has a lot of small businesses. All these areas, check them out. Go to our website, www.cbabc.org. You can actually go to our member directory. You can, search for our retail businesses, search for our local restaurants if you're going to get gift certificates, things like that. And even if you're looking for service, we've talked about it. We've had some of our members had gifted, like if you need a new website, we actually had somebody like they gifted a gift certificate from a service provider to be able to use for their businesses. So don't discount that either. Check out your local service providers and see if there's something you can gift a local business owner that they may need. But yeah, you can find all that information out on cvabc.org. Check us out. Check out our upcoming events. And we will talk local to you again next Wednesday at noon.